The flexible wage system was first introduced in 1986 and has helped employers respond quickly to periods of poor economic conditions, such as the SARS outbreak, the Asian and global financial crises, and the COVID-19 pandemic, by allowing prompt wage adjustments to be made based on business conditions. The National Wage Council encourages companies to implement the flexible wage system in order to remain resilient and competitive during challenging times and to emerge stronger when the economy recovers. Joining us today to shed more insights on the flexible wage system is Hao Shuo, Director of Operations, Policy and Planning at the Ministry of Manpower. Hi, and welcome, Hao Shuo.
Hi, Lauren. Good to be here.
Can you tell us a little bit about the flexible wage system?
The flexible wage system, or FWS, is a wage system that takes into account both company and individual performance. The inbuilt flexibility of FWS actually allows employers to make very timely adjustments to wage costs in line with changing business conditions. This helps companies stay viable and save jobs for their employees. Supported by good performance management, FWS can also help companies better recognize staff contributions and reward them accordingly. It will aid in attracting, retaining, and motivating employees who are the critical assets of any organization.
And what exactly does the flexible wage system entail?
The flexible wage system comprises two key elements. The first is the MVC, which is the monthly variable component, and the second is the AVC, or the annual variable component. So the MVC is a component in the basic monthly salary, which may be adjusted quite quickly in response to sudden changes in business conditions. This will help the employers actually save the business and save the jobs. On the other hand, AVC takes into account the longer-term business performance indicators. So AVC payouts are also usually linked to individual performance of the employees. The AVC may vary from year to year depending on the company's financial performance, while the MVC adjustments are usually considered to be more responsive to sudden changes in business conditions. AVC adjustments may also be made if the payouts actually coincide with a downturn in the business condition. Together, I think the two components allow companies to reduce wage costs during business downturns and to reward their employees appropriately when the business is good in a particular year.
Well, how does the flexible wage system benefit employers and employees?
On a macro level, as Singapore is a very small country that is plugged into the global economy, our companies are not just competing locally, but also with counterparts in overseas markets. As such, wage costs must be sustainable in the long run and reflective of the productivity of the workforce. So maybe I'll talk about the benefits to employers first, then I'll move on to employees. A flexible wage system allows for quick adjustments during economic or business downturns to sustain business operations. At the same time, the flexible wage system requires companies to quickly restore wages during business recovery. The variable components are linked to the key performance indicators of the company. It can help to increase productivity as employees see a direct relationship between how the business is doing and how they are being rewarded. With the flexible wage system, company can stave off retrenchment and manage manpower costs more dynamically using a fixed set of indicators. Wage adjustments will not be done in an unstructured, unplanned, or ad hoc manner in response to business challenges. Under FWS, the management will also lead by example, taking earlier and deeper wage cuts. This will actually reduce workplace disputes over unfair wage cuts. For employees, the AVC rewards them both on an individual basis in terms of how they're performing, and also takes into consideration the company performance. The MVC, on the other hand, will help to ensure job security when there's a need to quickly adjust their monthly salary in response to a business downturn. Employees are therefore better assured of their income stability for financial planning despite fluctuations in business cycles. Furthermore, the FWS gives employees assurance that once the business recovers from temporary setbacks, their wages can be quickly restored. So in short, the FWS provides both employers and employees with a very competitive and resilient wage structure that balances the interests of both employers and employees, thereby ensuring a win-win outcome for both parties.
Can you tell me what is one common challenge faced by employers when implementing FWS?
We did a recent poll with companies that have adopted cost-saving measures. Majority of the employers we polled actually highlighted the same challenge in terms of communicating the FWS to their employees. So indeed, revising the wage system is not an easy conversation for both employers and employees. But if you do the proper planning and the consultation process, I think we can get through this difficult topic. So first and foremost, it's about the trust between employees and employers. Employers that have spent the effort to build a very strong trust with their employees over the years should find it easier to implement FWS. The key message employers should send in a consultation is that the company actually treats wages responsibly and acknowledges that any adjustments would have an impact on the employee's livelihood. Setting up such a system to facilitate adjustments are in the interest of both employers and employees, because it will minimize disputes and allowing the saving of jobs. For unionized companies, employers should first seek the buy-in of the union leaders, who can then help to cascade the message down to individual employees. Another principle that employers should adhere to is for management to take the lead in any wage adjustments. Make this a key principle of your flexible wage system, and your employees will be better assured that they are being treated fairly when the company isn't doing so well. Lastly, be clear on the key performance indicators that are being used to trigger wage cuts or restoration. Transparency and objectivity will go a long way to engender employees' trust in you as an employer and in your FWS.
Well, what are some of the key aspects that companies should take note of to implement FWS successfully?
Employers, first, should be transparent about the financial status of the company. Employees will then feel assured their salaries will be adjusted in accordance with how the business is performing, and will also be motivated to help the business improve quickly so that their wages can be restored. Employers also need to communicate very clearly what are the KPIs and the trigger points for wage adjustments. Both employers and employees, including the union if any, would have agreed on the trigger points for wage cuts and timely restoration, which should correlate to how the company is doing and also the general market situation. Employers should ensure that their employees understand the changes to the wage system and reach out to them through different channels like the company bulletins, the town halls, and of course through the team meetings. I think down the line, at the line manager or supervisor level, they should also be trained to respond to any clarifications, questions from employees on FWS. And they should be adequately trained to be able to address the employees' concerns on the wage restructuring. When employees better understand the intent of the changes and how this benefits them, I think this will strengthen the employee-employer relationship. Of course, the test of any policy is in the implementation. For FWS to work and be accepted by employees, employers must follow through with the agreed triggers for wage adjustments, in particular the wage restorations in line with business recovery. Of course, employees will be perfectly fine if employers decide to stave off wage cuts despite the KPIs being triggered.
For companies who require support in implementing FWS, are there any resources that they can tap on?
We have a number of resources available, so employers first can approach the tripartite partners such as NTUC and SNAF, and also trade associations for assistance. There are many channels available to help employers who want to implement FWS. The National Wage Council recently published a guidebook for employers on how to implement FWS. Employers who want to find out more can also attend talks and webinars on the flexible wage system. In these webinars, employers can actually clarify any queries or doubts they might have about FWS. TAFEP runs an advisory line for employers and also a mentorship program for employers who want to find out more about FWS. Lastly, employers who are looking to update their HR or payroll system can approach the tech solution providers for additional assistance.
Thank you, Hao Shuo, for sharing your thoughts with us today. Implemented well, the flexible wage system can be an effective tool for companies to make quick but contained wage adjustments in a volatile business environment. This will help them to remain cost competitive and provide greater job security and certainty to their employees. During good times, the flexible wage system also provides employees a measure of certainty for rewards based on good performance. In other words, it is a resilient wage structure that can benefit all parties. Companies can also tap on government grants, such as the Productivity Solutions Grant, to upgrade existing HR payroll system to incorporate FWS features. The PSG supports companies and SMEs keen on adopting HR technology solutions to enhance business processes. For more information on the flexible wage system, please scan the following QR code to access the guidebook.